So let's talk about the geography of Mexico. It is truly dramatic. A country that feels like it was forged by fire and, well, massive collisions. You've got this land of incredible riches, but at the very same time, it's packed with incredible risks. And the wild part is, both of those things, they come from the exact same place, the very ground it's built on.
And that really gets to the heart of what we're looking at here. How can a country's geography be both a gift and a curse? We're going to dig into how Mexico's landscape provides all this amazing wealth while at the same time posing these constant, serious challenges.
All right, let's dive in. To really get this whole gift and curse thing, we have to start with the lay of the land. So, first up, the basics. What does Mexico's geography actually look like? Okay, so its position on the map is pretty straightforward, right? You've got that long, very famous border with the United States up north, then, down in the southeast, it's bordered by Belize and Guatemala.
Now check out its coastlines. They're dominated by these two really iconic peninsulas, and they could not be more different. Over on the west, you have the Baja Peninsula, that long, dry, mountainous finger sticking out, and then all the way on the other side to the east, you have the Yucatan, which is totally flat, low-lying, and basically a giant limestone shelf.
So if you picture it, the whole country is kind of built around this massive mountainous spine. You have these big mountain ranges running down both the western and eastern sides, and sandwiched right in between them, a huge, high central plateau. And that's famously where Mexico City is. Oh, and you can't forget the Rio Grande, of course. That's the river that carves out a massive chunk of the border with the U.S.
So, okay, that's the basic map. But here's the thing. That exact landscape, with all its mountains and varied terrain, is also where Mexico's incredible wealth comes from. Let's talk about the gift part of the equation, the bounty this land provides.
You see, all that intense geological action that pushed up those mountains, well, it also stuffed them full of treasure. Seriously, Mexico is incredibly rich in natural resources, especially oil. It's also a world leader when it comes to producing silver, and that's not even mentioning all the copper and gold it has.
And it's not just about what's buried underground. You've got these incredibly diverse climates, everything from tropical lowlands to high-altitude plateaus. And all that means you can grow a ton of different things. The absolute staples, corn, beans, wheat, rice, they all thrive there and really form the agricultural backbone of the country.
So you can see how this geography is just incredibly generous. I mean, it's provided the foundation for entire civilizations and, of course, for modern economies. But, and this is a big but, this land has a dangerous side, a really dangerous side.
Remember those powerful geological forces we talked about, the ones that created all the wealth? Well, they're the exact same forces that make the whole region incredibly volatile. And this is where the curse part of our question really comes into focus. Geographically speaking, Mexico is in a really precarious spot. It sits right where several tectonic plates smash together, which basically makes it a hot spot for massive earthquakes and active volcanoes. As if that's not enough, you've got these long coastlines on both the Pacific and the Atlantic, which means it's constantly in the path of destructive hurricanes.
Okay, so let's bring this into the modern day. What happens when you take this really dramatic geography and you add the pressures of modern life? Well, that combination has created some pretty huge environmental challenges. Let's circle back for a second. Do you remember where we said Mexico City is located? Because that little detail is absolutely key to understanding its single biggest environmental problem.
Yep, that's it. It's in a high mountain valley sitting on top of a plateau. And that unique spot, well, it's the perfect example of this whole blessing and curse idea.
So here's the direct result of that. That valley, it literally acts like a giant bowl. The mountains all around it trap the air. So all the pollution from millions of cars and all the factories in one of the biggest megacities on the planet, it has nowhere to escape. It just sits there stewing and creates a really, really serious air quality problem.
And that's not even the only issue, not by a long shot. The country is also dealing with widespread, serious drought, which puts a ton of pressure on water. Then you add in problems like deforestation and the general strain that comes from having these massive, overcrowded cities, and you've got a perfect storm of environmental issues.
So we kind of end up right about where we started. The story of Mexico's geography is all about this duality. It offers up these incredible resources, but at the same time, it presents these constant, life-threatening risks. And that leaves us with one last big question to think about. How do you balance the incredible wealth you get from the land with all of its inherent dangers? That question, that's really at the very heart of Mexico's relationship with its own land.